All right, we are back. Um, and today is April 4th. I believe so. April 4th? Yep. Today's April 4th. I am doing this live from Salt Lake City Temple Square. I really wasn't looking to coming out here, which might be a surprise to most because those that know me, they know that I, ever since I joined the church and the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, I've always run to this spot. This has always been my go-to place, whether I'm in the temple or I'm just on temple grounds. And so I really didn't want to come on temple grounds. I really didn't think I was going to do this live, which has been the case in the last little probably month. And I mentioned this. What sucks about lives is it doesn't save like YouTube unless you save it. And even in doing that, you have to save it on your phone. It doesn't really stay on the IG. So I probably should have went to the IGTV section instead of doing the live. But anyways, regardless of that, I felt like I needed to do this live for a couple of reasons. And just as a usual, like I said, I would be dropping lives so that I could drop the gems that I've received through the day or through the week. Um, One thing about me is that I love to share knowledge. I love to empower people. I love to talk. I love to talk, and not in the sense because I just love to talk. I love to put value in what I'm talking about so that I feel like I'm always giving back to not only my community but to anybody in my life that needs that extra push, encouragement, and extra love. And so in the last probably 6 months, maybe less than that, I've felt like even though I'm pushing these lives and doing them on my own, which is not a problem, I've come to an awakening that the lives need to be more, it needs to mean more, it needs to be more effective in reaching out because I've said it over and over again. Like, I don't get the support that I would like, but I'm also not crying over it or feeling any type of way because I've come to the understanding people will support who they want to support. And what's sad to me is usually people support people that either doesn't, in my opinion, doesn't have the substance and the content that I would like people to take away from me. But that might be just me being judgy. And so, either way, um, what you will find in my content and in my lives is that um, desire and hunger to uplift people. And so, speaking of uplift, I came across. So I want to. Oh, dang it! I just broke my clip that I was gonna need for the rest of the night. But anyways, I want to say it's only been a week since I again didn't write this down, but a week since the rapper Nipsey Nipsey Hussle, who's dating, um, who is dating. Hi Trina. Um, who is dating or who? Yeah. Anyways, Nipsey Hussle. He's a known famous rapper. Started from doing his mixtapes out in California, his city of I want to say it's Slauson, but or Crenshaw. Anyways, but he's from LA area. And so he used to be a gangster. He started off as a gangster because of the environment that he grew up in. He evolved into what I would consider student of life, of the gang life out there, the streets, and then a student of wanting to be a more positive role model and humanitarian and philanthropist. And so, anyways, he got shot in front of his business, and I never followed him prior to his death because I just didn't know. I like my favorite MCs are like Tupac, Ti, Ludacris, all those other like the older ones, and so I didn't know anything about him. I didn't realize he was dating what's her name, Lauren London, from The Game and from ATL. She's a known actress from This Christmas. Anyways, so they had a kid together. They have one kid each from previous relationships, and then they had a kid. But the saddest thing is like coming from California myself, our family, um, and coming across his story, his legacy, he reminded, like off the bat, he reminded me of Tupac. Like Tupac, he reminded me of his philosophy and his drive and love for music. Reminded me of Tupac, but his mannerisms and his voice, his look, remind me of Snoop. And so I've been like reposting about him over and over, and which is it's kind of opposite from like the base of our religion, and being a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, because I have a older sister and she's straight from Carson, and but she lives in Samoa, and she was like, Ova, you listen to Nipsey Hussle? And I was like, no, I don't listen to his music, but I am such a admirer of his legacy and the family man that he was, the business owner that he was, and just how he took care of his team. I mean, I'm still researching over his life and like reading up on him, but I couldn't deny like following him because he truly was like, if I was a fan before he died, I would have felt like when Aaliyah and Whitney Houston died, and who else, Luther Vandross, I would have felt like, whoa. I mean, I've never met those people, but I would have felt a great loss. And so in looking at his life and always reflecting on my life, I was just like, man, it really, people don't know. Like my family doesn't know. I myself don't always know to the extent of how important it is to use our talents, to use uh, our gifts, and also to use. I mean, going back to my cousin asking me why or do I listen to that music, Nipsey's music, and I'm one person like, and because I've grown up with um, individuals that are considered believers in my faith, um, I still draw from other people. Draw from like John Gray, who's a gospel person, Kirk Franklin, um, who is it? Trent Shelton, and these are just a list, it's a longer list of people that I follow, but to add to that list has been Nipsey, for me in the last week, 2 weeks. And it's just sad that gun violence and gangs, and then the opinions of others that it might have been like government involvement, like they killed him. It's just sad that a lot of the greats that use their platform get killed. And so my whole gist of this live today is to say that there is no time to wait on. Hi, Mary Lou. Hi, sister. Love you, love you, love you. Just got off work. Okay, Mary, are you coming with us? Let us know, because we would love to add you to our outing today. But anyways, back to Nipsey and using our impact and our influence. I feel like, as far as for the members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, whether they're active or not active, um, like we're having a big general conference, we're gonna listen to our leaders this weekend. I would say, like, don't be a closet Mormon. Like, I always throw out going going tonight. No, because I work. Oh, okay, Mary. Okay, we will hook up tomorrow sometime. Wish you were coming tonight. We'll let you know about it. But back to like members, because I serve the mission. I am a full time tithe payer. I go to the temple, but I still look at people that are outside of the church because I draw strength, and I have people that I love that aren't part of the church. Or And so my point is, like, whoever you are, whether you're in the church or not in the church, don't hide who you are. Like, don't hide who you are. So that's why I've been, because I'm proud to be from California. Like, even before knowing that Nipsey was from LA, I've always been proud. Like, people would ask me during and before my mission and after, where are you from? And I'm from Cali. I'm from originally from Samoa, but I'm by way of California, Carson Gardena area. And I take pride in that because before joining the church, um, I was I was influenced by different cultures, and okay, love you, Mary Lou. Different cultures, different statuses as far as for poor, rich, and middle class, and so I take pride in that. And my own family is so diverse. Like, we have half Samoan, half Tongan, half Samoan, Balangi, half Samoan Black, half Samoan Mexican, half Samoan Fijian, half Samoan, just half Samoan in everything. And so I have a greater love for all people, and so I would say, like, for those members that are coming back to church or trying to decide whether they should come back or if they should join the church, I would say do it, but stay true to God. Let Him help you evolve. Um, and then share your light and your testimony. Um, and so, yeah, I'm just on this whole big Nipsey kick because he relit in me why I do community service, why there's just like so many different people. Like, you can't be in community service and not want to give up at one point or another. You can't, I mean, unless you are that person, like, I need to meet you, because being in community service, being an example, being a role model, being a leader is not easy. It is absolutely hard. And the days that a leader wants to give up are the hardest, darkest days. But knowing that there's someone that could be impacted, for me, and I speak for myself, is what keeps me staying on top of my, like, passion passion for community service, passion for doing these lives. Like, I wish that I could speak for 4 hours and people just like eat it up and like, you know, pass it along, pay it forward type of deal. But I don't get that. I don't get that. But it doesn't make me stop, because I know that there are lives that could be saved, not by myself alone in sharing my story, but just saved in knowing, like, you know what, life is hard, it sucks, but we can move on and we can move forward. And that's all I've ever wanted for these messages, is for those who are so um, known in the public eye to know that, you know, however they got there, they can still find their way back to God if they allow themselves. And for those who are, you know, in the motion, always doing the right thing, always saying the right things to help people be better, I just need you guys to realize that um, God hasn't forgotten you, and it's not for nothing. Like, I've had opportunities where my testimony was strengthened because I was like doing everything that was right, but the only thing I was doing while I was doing everything that was right was having a bad mindset. And the mindset was entitlement. I felt entitled, like, Heavenly Father, I did this, you need to do this. Heavenly Father, I've kept this, you need to do this. And Heavenly Father does not work like that. He asks us to be obedient because He will give us blessings, but it just might not be the blessing that we're begging for and that we're desiring the most. So I would say to those who are on the path and trying to stay on, don't have a sense of entitlement, and don't be condescending to people who are trying to live the gospel or trying to find the gospel. And then those who are like feeling way far off, whether you were in the church or not, and or you were in the church and you left, I want to tell you, come back. All starts with one choice to come back. And it's not as hard as you think or are making it to be. Um, so come back, because your story definitely will save lives if you allow your story to be shared, and for you to get over your resentments, your mindset of thinking how things should have been instead of how things have or are. I say come back. Come back to Heavenly Father. Who is that? Sorry, I'm trying to see who that is. So yeah. So my my just and my takeaway from Nipsey Hussle's life, and the sadness that his girl feels and his children feel, is that we have no time to hide our light. We have no time to be afraid of love. We have no time continually being hateful, whether or not we mean it or it's unintentional. We have no time, because with the time that we do have, it should be spent on doing nothing but loving people, forgiving yourself, and finding room to allow other people to love you. We're so caught up in wanting things our way, controlling things, when we should just be like, okay, Heavenly Father, not even almost like the cliche goes, Heavenly Father, your will is not my will, but more so, Heavenly Father, help me to see to see me the way you see me. Help me to see other people the way you see them. And help me to love the way you love. Because I can testify, like, loving people conditionally, not unconditionally, but conditionally with conditions, loving them that way, making them feel like they they need to always apologize to you is an unhealthy mindset and way of being. And it's just ugly. And nobody wants to be ugly. So if your heart is ugly, if your mind is ugly, everything you do, even if you try to cover it up with goodness, is ugly. The scriptures say, uh, I can't remember the exact scripture, but it pretty much says good fruit cannot bear bad fruit, and bad fruit cannot bear good fruit. So meaning good actions can't bear bad 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 results, I think. And then bad actions can't produce good results. So um I would just say, like, look up Nipsey Hussle, follow his I'm not saying follow his music because I know within the church we believe that, we need to listen to wholesome music, but I'm saying follow his um philanthropy side of his story, his his knowledge as far as for how to treat a team. You seem like the few videos that I've seen, he takes credit where credit is his, but he always turns it around and gives it to his team. You'll you'll see a couple of videos, and if you look it up on YouTube, he's like, "But it was a team effort, but it was a team collaboration, but it was a team decision," and I feel like that would be the best way to live your life, is to take the praise that is yours in humility, but always, always highlight your team. Because with a strong team, nothing's impossible. But with a selfish team, everything is going to fall apart. So, I love you guys. I'm going to end off on that note because I feel like there's still a lot of other gems that I'm not ready to give out. Not because I'm selfish, but just because it's not occasion appropriate. As our sister Connie Falatel would say, the occasion appropriate. And this occasion is just about living your truth as far as for if you're a member of the church or not, and accepting people for who they are and who aren't a part of the church yet. I just love people. One of the sayings that I've been hashtagging a lot is live today with love, or live to live with love today. Live with love today. And that was given by one of the couple missionaries. I think her name's Sister Green. And she was just saying that her good friend that had just passed away last month lived that life. Not live with love tomorrow or yesterday or 5 years from now, but live with love today. Because within a 24-hour period, that's manageable if you choose to lead with love and live with love today. So I'm going to leave it at that. Those are our gems. Um, and please, 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 whoever you have in your circle that's down for me, it's to come out and share my story and share resources of how to get help with self-esteem, with encouragement, with depression and suicidal uh, attempts, and all of that. whoever needs help, and we all need help. I need help. I'm asking for your help. I've been asking for your help, but do hit me up on inbox or just invite me to an event where we could all just collaborate in sharing this message of leading with love. And I will talk to you guys. Have a great conference weekend. Be safe out there driving. A lot of activities, I'm sure. We will talk to you again.